It's time for Around the Ozarks News, brought to you by the Springfield Greene County Park Board, Kitchen Lane USA, and Thompson Sales. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Forhetz.
Hey, good morning to you. Happy Thursday. Hope your week is going well. And we will talk about stuff, but get you started with some news.
It is a bit unusual. We have had 2 murder-suicides within a week in Springfield. The latest was in an apartment complex in North Springfield on Tuesday afternoon. Both of the deceased in that case were only 21 years old. 4 juveniles were also in the apartment at the time that happened. None of them were hurt. This is on the heels of the first such incident earlier this week inside a business. The Stone County Collector's Office had its suspicions, and turns out they were right. According to the state auditor, there was a now former employee who was apparently pocketing money that was brought in by Stone County residents to pay their property taxes, etc. Authorities say the woman who was working there took more than $19,000 and has apparently repaid about $5,000 of it. The auditor says the county needs better systems with better checks and balances and receipts, so that way any possible future theft would be detected much earlier.
Yeah, good call. This is neat. Paul Mueller Company is expanding yet again. It's their second big expansion in as many years, which is incredible. The expansion increases the capacity for producing those big stainless steel tanks that they make. Expansion should be finished by the middle of next year, so good on them. And Ozarks Technical Community College is getting a nice outdoor plaza right by the new student union. David and Stacy O'Reilly making that possible. All part of a plan to make the campus more inviting and to make more space for students to socialize and to do their schoolwork. The new space will be named the David and Stacy O'Reilly Auto Parts Plaza, right alongside the Michael Parson Student Union, which is under construction, named after our former governor, of course. The student union will have a lot of amenities, including a fitness center, a food court, which the kids love, and a library. Should be opened fall of next year. So good work at Ozarks Technical Community College. And then there's this. Sarah Huff and Gail Smart are now officially members of the Springfield Public School Board of Education. They were sworn in Tuesday night after garnering the most votes in the recent election. Julie Bruner was appointed president, and Danielle Kincaid will be vice president of the school board in Springfield.
You said Judy Bruner, right? Not Julie.
I think I said,
like you said Julie.
I think I may have said Julie. I meant Judy.
Judy. Yes. Okay. Arkansas's food stamp program is getting a bit of an overhaul. Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders says 23% of the state's food assistance money is going toward junk food like pop and candy, just food that's not necessarily healthy sustenance. So those items are no longer to be eligible under a new SNAP waiver. Sanders says the goal is to ensure that taxpayers' dollars are being spent on healthier food options. A 30-day public comment period is now underway.
Well,
and I'm sure that they will get some strong opinions on both sides of that.
Well, I don't know. I suppose so. But we have an obesity epidemic in our country, and a lot of it is from extra sugary foods, all the junk food that we eat. So it's good for overall health. I know that.
Yeah. I think it's interesting because I think back to like premarital counseling 18 years ago. And they said, be mindful of spending for what you want to spend on. Right? Like, because everybody has a priority of spending. So if you have like one vice and it happens to be a Snickers bar or something, you know what I'm saying?
Riding a bike. Go ahead.
Riding a bike, for instance. Like, that's how I would choose to spend my money. By the way, I haven't bought a bicycle in 15 years until last week.
Yeah. Right.
But
waiting for the last part of that.
I did put thousands of miles on that 15 years, but
just real quickly, I should have started saving 15 years ago for the new bike, by the way.
Oh, come on. So anyway, my point is this, like everybody has a different priority in spending. So it's hard for me. I mean, I agree with what you're saying. Plus, she had actually, it was very interesting. She had a quote, something about like the SNAP benefit money was being able to be used on pop and candy, but like not on like a fresh chicken. And I'm like, does she mean
Rotisserie
that literally?
chicken. Yeah.
Does she mean that literally? You know what I mean? Because I almost felt like maybe she said it tongue in cheek and I couldn't hear her tone because I was reading what she had said.
Right.
But surely she doesn't mean that literally, right? Surely that can't be right.
Well, I don't. I'm not sure. I'm not sure because there's some restrictions regarding prepared foods.
Yeah. It was just interesting because I mean, I don't disagree with what you're saying. And I do think 23%, wow, is going toward like pop and candy. That seems like it's not sustaining food.
And that's that
and it is taxpayer money. But at the same time, if that's the one thing that you buy, I don't know. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm never going to spend $1 million on a purse or on a pair of shoes. But if that's your thing, then go for it.
But it's not. You're not spending other people's money.
Taxpayers' dollars. Okay.
And the whole point of the program is not to make people happy. It's to
help
keep them alive, give them food to eat if they can't afford food themselves, or if there's a choice between medicine and food. We want them to be able to eat life-sustaining food, and junk food is not part of that. You know what I mean?
I mean, I see
good for you.
What you're saying. I'm just saying,
and it's hard to find. It's hard to find food that's good for you, honestly.
Yeah.
Because everything's got something in it,
right?
But I think it's a good start. We need, as a country, we need to get our health
overhaul.
Together. Yeah, we got to get our health together and figure out what actually good food is. And one more thing: the way labels are on food, it's like great health. This and or whatever. It's very deceiving because they can say something that as a consumer you think, oh, this is good for you, but it's not. They're just using the words. Okay, enough of that. Speaking of good help, Ozarks Food Harvest is getting a much needed, very timely donation from Opal Foods. That would be eggs. So far, Opal has donated about 5 million eggs over the last 17 years.
It's amazing.
Just in time for Easter to Ozarks Food Harvest, which actually does a great job getting out good, nutritious food to people across the Ozarks. And of course, the eggs are especially meaningful this year because of the prices of eggs this year, how high they are. Eggs are one of the most requested items from families in need, a lot of protein in there. And Ozarks Food Harvest has been able to help about 70,000 people every month over the years and provides about 21 million meals a year. So they're a great organization doing a lot of good to help feed people and take care of folks right here in our community. So good on them. Amazing. And way to go, Opal Foods, with another donation of eggs.
The Battlefield Mall is getting a lot of new life. Some of the older, mainstays have closed down, as you know, like the Sears stores of the world. But they are getting a lot of new places. We've told you about Lovesac. It's coming. Offline by Aerie. Riddle's Jewelry. All of them are opening up in the coming months. And then Mobile Express Fix already opened inside the mall. Plus, in the way of food, the Royal Slice Pizza Place, that's going to be opening in the spring. So how about that?
Yeah.
Remember there was like this day where we felt like malls.
Retail, yeah.
Was it like 3 years ago maybe? Because everything was just becoming strip malls. But like the mall, like the big, the Battlefield malls of the world, people were like, oh man, what's going to happen with all these massive buildings? But I mean, they're doing the deal. They're getting stores.
Good.
Lots
it's good
of
to see
them.
The stores moving in. Yeah.
I know. It's awesome. Okay. This is kind of fun. If you are a bird lover, or even if you're not, like, I mean, who doesn't love to learn, and it's really cool. Tonight at 6:15, the conservation department is going to be hosting a free program where you can go and learn about the life and paintings of John James Audubon. Yep, that Audubon, like the Audubon Society guy, that guy. Yeah. He's the man who painted more than 1,000 birds in his lifetime. He is an icon in the study of birds across North America. And
which
he's
is called
old
what?
And dead and gone. Huh?
Which is called what? The study of birds.
The study of birds. I don't know what it's called.
Ornithology. Everybody, ornithology.
Okay. Alrighty. Anyway, he is like old and dead and gone, but his work is still remembered today, and we still have things, in his name. Anyway, current author who's still alive and well, Ken Kaufman, is going to dive into Audubon's work tonight, and then even add some to some of the species that Audubon likely did not know about in his lifetime.
Oh, that's cool.
Anyway, like that he would have been unaware of. So this is a free program tonight at the Nature Center. Starts at 6:15. You do need to register if you want to go, just so that they can get a head count. But again, it's free. You can check that out on the Conservation Department's website.
Okay. That sounds good. Hey, real quick, I was going to tell everybody where I was this week. I was up in Grand Rapids, Michigan, which actually is a TV market I used to work in back in 2000 to 2003. And very cold up there. And it was actually still cold while I was up there just now. But it was a great event. There's a company up there called Spartan Nash. And for the second year in a row, it's a grocery store chain. They have several different names of grocery stores up there in the kind of the Midwest, the North Midwest, Upper Midwest, I guess you call it. And they also are a grocery distributor. So they give out groceries to different grocery stores. And they had an event where they got together 800 of their employees, 850 of their employees, and a bunch of volunteers. And they spent the entire day boxing up a donation from Spartan Nash of $1.7 million worth of groceries and hygiene items. They boxed them all up into boxes that will hold groceries for a family for a week. And they gave them to Convoy of Hope. I mean, it was an unbelievable event. The second year that they've done it. It ended up being about 500,000 meals that they put together, especially for U.S. disasters. So Convoy now has those trucking back to Springfield to be put on shelves in our World Distribution Center. And when there is a disaster, our team can just get those pallets on trucks as quickly as possible and then pass out those boxes that will take care of a family for an entire week. We did it last year. Those boxes were a godsend for people following hurricanes Milton and Helene, of course, last fall. We did a Thanksgiving event out in North Carolina following those hurricanes. So I just want to tip my hat to Spartan Nash, because that is incredible to be able to do that and partner with us to allow us to be ready for the next disaster.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, that's amazing.
And it was fun.
And then tonight is the Fellowship of Christian Athletes banquet. This is a fundraising banquet, and they also honor the male and female athlete of the year from the Ozarks, so from our area. And we can't tell you who those are yet because it's a surprise at the banquet. But if you are not doing anything tonight, come along. It's at 6:00 tonight. It's going to be great. It is in the Grandview Conference Center there at Big Cedar Lodge. So if you've ever been to Big Cedar, the conference room, the big conference center. Tonight, the keynote speaker is Major League Baseball Hall of Famer, MVP, and All-Star Andre Dawson. I don't know him. Ethan does. Cubs. I'm going to meet him tonight. I'm going to sit by him. I'm going to interview him. And I've got lots of homework to do today. Yes, I do. Don't worry. I will do it. I'm a quick study. But Ethan could tell you already all about him. And he's the keynote speaker tonight. So hopefully you'll come along. And Ethan and I will be there.
I grew up watching him on WGN against my Cardinals in the 80s. The Hawk. He never really got to see success as a Cub. The Cubs only had success in recent years when it comes to World Series.
Yeah.
But he's a man of faith, so we look forward to talking with him about that and about baseball and the state of baseball and the Cubs and Cardinals, because that'll be fun as well. So if you're interested, I wouldn't just show up. You probably need to get tickets ahead of time.
Let me tell you the website. It's kind of a long one, so pay attention. If you are, driving, I don't know what to do. Like pull over. Don't try to
South. You can Google South Central Fellowship of
Missouri
Christian Athletes.
FCA. Yes, but the actual website is SO as in South. So Central Mo FCA.org. So Central Mo FCA.org. It's kind of a long website. So centralmofca.org. There you go. I said it 3 times. Surely you can figure it out. All right. That is all. And before we go, one last reminder of the drawing that is underway right now. It is the lawnmower, the zero-turn lawnmower, the Ferris zero-turn lawnmower, valued at about $5,000, given to us by Sportsland pickup covers and pickup truck covers and trailer sales. They are giving it away, and we are super thankful. We're teaming up with Springfield's Rock Station Q102 to host this drawing. Someone's got to win, and we will be giving it away on May 2nd. Check it out right now at aroundtheozarks.com.
Okay. Yeah, it's a great place to go. It'll keep you updated on contests as well as the calendar of what's going on in our area. You can make plans for your weekend or whatever, because Easter's this weekend. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on. Although
lots going on. Yeah.
The weather doesn't look like it's going to be fantastic. So you want to stick around for Abby Dyer's Wake Up Weather and see if there's going to be any dry spots in there for the Easter egg hunts.
Yes. All right. Thanks so much for joining us. We hope you have a super great day. See ya.
Bye.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, sponsored by John's Heating and Air, Command Family Medicine, and Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet. Here's your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everybody. We are waking up with temperatures in the 50s this morning. We've had some rain on the radar overnight, primarily in our northern counties, and that's where it stays as of 5 a.m. It is not going to be a washout of a day, though, in the Ozarks. The few rain showers that are left this morning are going to be moving on, and I have a partly sunny and windy day setting up across the Ozarks. It's also going to be quite warm in the forecast today with highs near 80 degrees. We'll dive right into this forecast because there's a whole lot to talk about, not just rain on the radar for us this morning, but I've got daily rain chances in this forecast. And yes, it will likely lead to too much water at times. We have northern counties starting off with some rainfall today. So a few folks may want the rain gear early on today. I really don't think it's necessary through the course of the afternoon. We should see dry time in the forecast and high temperatures that jump to near 80 degrees. It will be breezy in the Ozarks with winds gusting up to 45 miles an hour. I have the strongest wind gusts today expected west of Highway 65, but this may cause some travel issues if you're on the roads. High profile vehicles may have issues in winds like this, so look out for that. Also, loose objects that may be out and about could be blown around. If you got any Easter decorations on the porch or in the trees or something like that, you may see things not where you left them if you're heading home this evening. Increasing concern for flooding in the forecast as we head into Friday. I have another round of thunderstorms that looks pretty powerful in the Ozarks. And just 2 weeks ago, we had that major flooding for our southeastern counties. Now, we're talking about another round of rain and storms, but there's going to be this overall pattern that looks very unsettled through the holiday weekend. So not only do I have rain chances in the forecast on Friday, I've got them Saturday and Sunday. And by the time you add up all the water on the way, it's going to lead to more flooding concerns with 3 to 4 inches of rain possible in some spots through the weekend in the Ozarks. I want to remind you that small decisions can have a big impact when it comes to flooding. So if you come across water over a roadway, turn around, find another way around. Do not ever drive through any barricades if they are up, and delay travel if possible until conditions improve. We do have severe potential with this round of rain too. So not only is it the flooding concern and the chance for a few heavy downpours, but it's also the chance for some strong storms. Now, I think the threat this time is going to be rather limited, with wind and hail being the biggest concern on Friday. I also think on Friday, there's going to be some downpours that have very heavy rainfall. The point here is that each and every day, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the atmosphere, it's conducive for scattered, strong to severe thunderstorms. Monitor the forecast this weekend if you have anywhere to be. I know there's egg hunts. There's all sorts of stuff going on. We want it to be springtime. We want to be outside, but just make sure you have a plan for where you'll go should severe weather arrive in the Ozarks, and make sure that you're having indoor plans as a backup for anything that you've got going on outside. Around the country, we've got some big headlines too. There's still snowfall impacting portions of the Rockies, moving from the northern Rockies down to the southern Rockies. At the same time, there's extremely critical fire danger happening for the southern high plains and much of the Southwest. Severe weather, of course, occurring starting today in the central U.S. It's north of the Ozarks today, primarily up in Iowa. And then we'll see those severe threats sink south on Friday. Well above average temperatures over the central U.S. That's going to happen today and tomorrow. Today, I told you high temps, they make it into the low 80s, 81, my forecast in Springfield. I think we're at 82 tomorrow. And then for the weekend, conditions look cooler, with highs likely dropping to the 50s up in our northern counties, 60s on Saturday here in Springfield. So a lot going on, a lot of changes on the way, and a whole lot of rain in this forecast as well. All right, it's time for the Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister trivia question for the day. And the question this time, again, it's going to be an Easter question. Which U.S. president was known for his love of jelly beans, particularly keeping a jar of them on his desk in the White House? Who do you think did this? Who had the sweet tooth? Do you think it was A, Jimmy Carter, B, Ronald Reagan, C, Bill Clinton, or D, George W. Bush? And if you knew this one, you would have guessed B, Ronald Reagan. President Reagan and his jar of Jelly Bellies. They are infamous and in many photographs. When Ronald Reagan ran for governor in California in 1966, he started eating jelly beans as part of his successful attempt to give up pipe smoking, according to the Reagan National Library. So it was successful. So I guess if you're trying to quit too, reach for a jelly bean anytime you get a hangry. Congrats if B, Ronald Reagan was your guess. Here's another jelly bean question. What is the name of the process that creates the harder outer shell of a jelly bean while preserving the gooey center? You may know this if you've seen how it's made. Do you think it is A, hardening, B, curing, C, crusting, or D, panning? The process that creates the hard outer shell of a jelly bean that preserves the gooey center. Let me know your guess. You can do that at aroundtheozarks.com. Thank you so much for listening this morning, and thanks to our sponsors, John's Heating and Air, Command Family Medicine, and Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet. Have a great one. We'll chat again first thing tomorrow.